Oh, Donnie's about to fight? I wonder what's gonna... What's up, guys? Punzer here, and here to do a breakdown. So it's live react. Well, not live reaction review. Did that for the patrons of the member. But here we're going to do a breakdown and review of chapter 169 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, which is known as Donnie versus Mystery Package. Now, unfortunately, I made the drastic mistake of recording both live reactions back to back. I could fake theory craft, but I did record both live reactions to 169 and 170 right back to back. Didn't think they're going to reveal Mystery Package as quickly as they did. I won't reveal that in this video. I'll pretend somewhat, but I won't like heavily theory craft like I was kind of doing in the live reaction. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. It's another fun fact.
Donnie loses. But I think you knew that. Just like I knew that. Just like we all knew that, right? Right? Like, honestly, I mean, like, it's not impossible. Nakaba's taken my ankles by force before. Like, he's grabbed them, flipped me upside down, and then dragged me by my ankles. Like, they've been in pieces before by Nakaba and by many other mangaka. But, like, when we all saw Donnie versus Mystery Package of all characters, when we saw Donnie on the bracket with characters like Percival, Diodora, Tantris, Gawain, Ballin, like we knew he wasn't making past first round, right? So like this chapter is almost a formality, and I'll be honest, but then again, it works. Especially considering I don't think we may. I mean, no, we may still see. It really depends. It depends on if we get the Nakaba tournament syndrome or not. Where in Nakaba land, at least so far in the duology, no tournament has been allowed to finish. They're always cut short one way or another. Like, there's no, like, even the Vizel Fighting Festival, which gets close to finishing, gets interrupted because the Holy Knights attack. And the Sins pretend to take it over to get everyone to evacuate. So, like, that doesn't finish. The second Vizel Fighting Festival doesn't finish. It barely progresses, honestly. The second one, I feel like Nakama just gave up halfway through that arc. I mean, it works because the Ten Commandments get summoned. So, like, it works out in the grand scheme of things. But, like, still, it's crazy to think. So maybe something's gonna happen here. I don't know, but let's not waste more time. Let's actually hop right in chapter 169. But let's see. The first round winner in the A block is Percival. Gareth tried to fight back, but Percival's eerie attack sunk him for good. Now, like, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy to see how much I've flipped and how much other characters have flipped in universe. But darn, G, as a person on the number one train of like like legit handed over the blade, be like, Percy, maybe you should take that guy's life just to be safe, especially if you're worried about your own friends' lives. Percy, maybe you should catch a body or two or three or four or many more. But still, seeing that eerie attack, an attack that I only really associated it with the spare Percy, aka, who knows, it may have just been regular Percy underneath that dark ball that Jade cast on his head, and Zaluna and Do, like, or Zaza as I called him for the limited time he was in the manga. Like, I legit only associated that kind of mentality and that kind of viciousness with them. But now it's just Percy, bro. It is just him. Of course, there is the debate, and this chapter will even go on to bring up the debate. Well, is that just him? Or is that somebody else? But still, if this truly is Percy, all this does is super invest me in the future moral conflict he's going to have with certain characters, and also what happened over that 2 years, dog. Like, I know I'm not typically the hugest fan of flashbacks. I love me some forward plot progression, but this is a case where, like, if we get a little mini 4, 5, heck, even 6 chapter arc covering what Percy was doing in time skip, bro, learning those abilities, retaking his place, re-understanding his very nature as a life spirit, I wouldn't be mad. I simply couldn't find myself to muster the anger at that. You know what I'm talking about? But we see that Edlin is like, whoa, didn't even break a sweat, huh? Darn, he's like a whole other person compared to 2 years ago. Which is completely true. If you'll remember, Percy is not the one who saved Edlin from that scenario. It was Hauser. Hauser 2 years ago was presumably stronger than that Percy, at least. You could definitely argue by, like, maybe not even. No. You can argue. That's the thing. It is so butt cheeks. And of course, maybe 2-year time skip Hauser got his groove back and, like, boosted it massively. But thanks to that Nakaba statement, we just know Hauser's booty. Like, he's Matrona level. And it's not saying Matrona got any stronger. Like, if we use the combat class, because people don't like what I call it power levels. So, combat class. We use the combat class he was given in that interview question. Like, he is 8,800. Yes, he is a magicless Gallon victim still! 16 years later, which is absurd. Which means, like, he got cliffed by, like, Isold, who damaged Meligal. Like, it feels weird. Like, I'm not sure if Nakaba understood the implications of bringing back the commandments and then, like, having people actually fight them. Because, like, Percy went from, wow, Hauser, you're so strong, to, what, like, one death amp or pseudo death amp later, and then bada bing, bada boom, he's washing commandment tears? Like, huh? No, but you do realize you cliffed one of your supposedly impressive characters. Like, he's kind of butt down. But let's see. Oh, and I do like that Edlin at least acknowledges that. He's another person outside of our main crew who knew Percy before. Like, Borst doesn't know Percy, didn't know Percy, is only learning about Percy just now. But Edlin is a source from 2 years past, very early on in Percy's progression, to show just how far and how powerful Percy has come to people even outside his own crew who know how powerful he's become. But with being the case, we see Dareth being like, Gareth, get up! Open your eyes, please! I don't want to go back there. Gareth, they sent me to purgatory, Gareth, please. Let's see. I say let's see like I don't know what's going to happen. But we see that Dareth goes to reach and pick up Gareth, but ultimately he really can't do anything. And rather, someone else snags Gareth by their little waist and throws him over their shoulder. As Percy goes, whew! Ow! Another one to add to the collection. First, it was Anne. Then, actually no, first, it was Nauseans. Then, it was Anne. Now, Gareth. I will collect them all. Like the 6 Infinity Stones. I think like Pokemon, but like there aren't gonna be that many. But the 6 Infinity Stones. Percy, he's collected them one by one. And he hits the oof as Dareth says, hey, stop that! Don't touch him! And Percival says, what do you mean? I have to take him away and have him rest. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do anything to your brother. Not anything that he won't like. Well, okay, let's stop. But I mean, I like this Percy, but I just don't fully trust him. And what do you mean, Percy? What do you mean by that? Well, we'll go into what he means by that in a little bit. As we see Dareth say, huh? And notably, Dareth should be happy to know that his brother is still alive, because ultimately, Gareth, despite being knocked out, presumably, or at least like heavily fatigued, his magic is still active. Dareth is still sticking around, and presumably has to walk off the arena himself, even though we never see him do that. And we see that Dareth asks, wait, but didn't you just try to kill him a second ago? And, buddy, pal, amigo, not only do you, like you specifically with your soul sword, also take people's lives, but on top of that, do you know what genre you're in? This is like the genre where almost killing somebody, I'm not going to say it has no value. I'm not going to say it's like completely meaningless, but like, that's typically how you become homies in these kind of stories, dog. So like, of course you're going to take care of them. But, once again, fitting into a Son Goku aspiration, I suppose. But we see that Donnie, completely unconcerned with the moral implications of this, is like, whoa, Percival, that was too easy for you. Tap me up, Big G. Or Big P. What do you really? You probably call it Big P. Tap me up, Big P. And Percival says, nah, Gareth was a real threat to someone like you. Because he was never a real threat to Percy. And we see that they smack each other up, all happy, all joyous. But while Donnie does not care, because he has a match to focus on, and also it's Donnie, we see that Percy says, you're next, right? Right, the daughters? Big D? No matter, it's bad either way. It's either Big P for Percival or Big D. I didn't even realize that. They cannot call each other big anything, dog. They cannot call each other big anything. Lord. Whatever's mercy. But we see that Donnie says, you bad. See you in match number 5, which you will not be doing. Nakaba. But we see Percy turns to the two people who actually do have a couple questions about the clear moral quandary of Percy seemingly just suddenly slaughtering a man. And he's like, oh, Anne and Nosians, meet Gareth. They're going to be our fourth. Don't worry, Anne. You're still the primary. But Nosians, keep fighting. Be a good little fella. And maybe I'll keep you as a secondary. Okay, at least not. But that's the thing. Now that they're full-grown adults, I wish I had, like, one of these days I'm gonna get a soundboard and I'm just gonna load it up with Kingdom Hearts quotes because I would literally play the door is open. Like, that's how I feel right now. I'm like, once I get some characters ages confirmed in other series too, the doors, I'm gonna grab them. I'm just gonna launch them open. But we see that Anne and Nosian are clearly concerned, once again, about the moral implications of Percy randomly just slaughtering somebody. And we see Nosian say, Big P. But, Percival, that movie broke out just now. It's the same as what you... Percival, that movie broke out just now. It's the same as what you used the World Date, right? Oh, yeah. It releases the life spirit from my opponent's body. And we see Nosian and Anne realize... Huh? But there's a... I'll finish this, but then I'll like double back. Well, technically, I'll just finish this whole page, and I'll double back on like the three main things that caught my attention about this page. But we see that Anne says, "What? You were trying to kill him?" And we see Nosians declare, "Don't jump to conclusions. His opponent's still alive, so he must have stopped it before it activated." And Percy says, "Nah, I fully acted the thing at all. So yeah, I was trying to clap his cheeks, and don't worry." Soon enough, I won't be trying. Okay. I got to stop. But thing number one. Yeah, it releases the life spirit from my opponent's body. I'd have the Drusky complain too. What do you mean by that? And you may be like, Pencil, what's wrong with that statement? Life spirit. Like singular. Huh? I mean, I guess it's weird because it's somewhat kind of sort of maybe makes sense because this isn't the first time that life spirit has been referred to as singular, not like a conglomerate. But the last I remember that happening was specifically with what's Gawain's dad's name? I forget his name. What is his name? I forget his name. But essentially his apple orchard. If you remember, Percy said, "Oh, the life spirit inside is nice and healthy and fruitful too," showing that Percy does believe in consuming his fellow people, but also naturally he needs to eat. But at the same time, that's a fruit, which is alive, don't get me wrong, it's part of a tree, but like, it makes sense, a fruit would be have a single life spirit, the tree would have multiple for all the different fruits on it. But, human only has one? It releases the life spirit from my opponent's body. Maybe, this is most likely me just getting caught up on translation semantics, but it seems interesting that there's only a singular life spirit. Well, we've seen previously that it can take multiple life spirits to heal like a partial wound. When Percy drained the age out of Kion's arm, he drained out multiple life spirits and then had to put back multiple life spirits. Even healing minor injuries typically takes multiple life spirits under Percy's command. So it's interesting that a person only has one life spirit. Now, this could imply like a prime life spirit versus lesser life spirits. Once again, sort of playing into the idea that we've seen before with other spirits where there's like the king spirits, which is what Ironside summons, and the regular fodder spirits, which is something like Kion summons. Maybe that's the case here? Or if people will have like a core prime life spirit that everyone else rallies around, or all the other life spirits rally around. Maybe, but it's interesting that a species as complex as humans would have only one life spirit, considering how many trillions of cells are made out of. And also, I guess it doesn't make the least amount of sense, because you could argue maybe life spirit is meant to be like read as soul here, because like, technically, the soul... It's not like the source of life spirits, but it is intrinsically tied to it, presumably, because it's the soul. It's the power of life force for the body. So, I don't know. It's interesting that it was noted as singular life spirit. Being person can just rip one of those bad boys out and you'll immediately... But, with that being the case, the other thing I want to note here is that Anne is actually bamboozled that Percy tried to take somebody's life. And Nosians is coping. The thing that got me about that is Nosians. Now, this wasn't something pointed out by me. This was something pointed out by someone on Reddit when I was reading. But Nosians, Isn't this what you wanted? Ain't this what you wanted, Nazi? Because if you remember, 2 years passed. I believe it was Nazis and Anne. They were talking with each other, and they were praising Percy's naivete. And notably, while Anne had sort of doubled down on Percy's naivete, being like, "Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, Percy will be there for us all the time and ever," which was foreshadowing for Percy leaving them. But like, Percy will be there always, forever. So like, even if he's reckless and dangerous and stupid, he can't be that reckless, that dangerous, and that's we'll be fine. So she personally believes in the pure innocent Percy, but Nasines 2 years ago was kind of leaning towards the Lance route, because if you remember when Percy saved, oh, there's so many characters' names to remember. What is his name? Some magic was cold weather. What was his name? He's one of the four. He was one of the Dark Talismans. Whatever. When he saved that guy, it's like D or something. I forget his name. No, he was called the Carrion Eater. That's great. I remember his title, I remember his magic name, but I forget his actual name. But the Carrion Eater. Remember when Percy saved him, and Lance was like, well, he was still in sin form at that point, but Lance was like, buddy, pal, amigo, you're gonna have to start clapping some cheeks, bro. This is getting dangerous. And Percy's like, no, I never do that. Nosians was actually more so leaning towards the Lance side there, where he was like, yeah, Percy, you may need to catch a body here or there, buckaroo. But now that he's seeing Percy catching bodies, or presumably attempting to catch bodies, first with World Aid, now with Gareth, he's like, oh, wait, wait, I thought the only cheeks you were taking were mine. Probably Anne's. I didn't think you were going to take other people's cheeks, but no, he's taking cheeks. And however, the last thing I want to point out on this page is Percy is so calm. He's so okay with it. He's so blasé about the topic of just attempting to just rip the soul out of somebody. And of course, we do get a reason for this, but still, it goes to show his drastic shift in mindset to where before he's like, I would never take the life of another being. It got slightly annoying to fight Gareth. Gareth was not actually a threat to Percy, and Percy was like, give me your heart. So, wrong. I some play Liza P, but I've watched Polar Bros and Optimistic Humans playthroughs of it, and there's also, she's a fantastic content creator too. She made a Legends Arceus video, a Liza P video. I need to check if she posted again, because that Liza P video popped up out of nowhere. I was like randomly checking her channel to rewatch her Fire Emblem Engage video, because I tend to rewatch videos a lot, and I put them on in the background. And I saw she had a Liza P video, I'm like, oh, and then I watched that. I forget their name. It's like called up Hold the Bro and Optimistic Human. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm sidetracking mad hard right now. But essentially, what was I even? Oh no! The reference was coming just from how blasé Percy is about taking lives now, which is, I guess, ironically enough, in the grand scheme of things, it does somewhat make sense. Like when you look at it from a logical perspective, as Percy, someone who spent the last 2 years presumably mixing with the ideas of life and death, truly embracing his true life spirit nature, all of that, it truly is what would be expected, right? Because after a while, he's probably gotten so numb to it. Like, it probably doesn't even matter to him anymore. The only reason it matters to him when it comes to his human connections is because he likely understands after the Jade incident, he still can't directly bring a person back. There needs to be some sort of life in them for him to restore them. But for everybody else, it doesn't matter. Don't worry. I can take care of it. I can fix it. Camelin. They have made a Liza P video, Fire Emblem Engage video, and two Fire Emblem Engage videos, and a Legend Arceus video. Go watch them. They're an hour long each, or 2 hours in the case of the Engage video, and 28 minutes in the case of the first Engage video, but they are a very good content creator. Go check them out. But, with it being the case, it is interesting to see all that, and that's all just in this one page contained. But we do get some lore and explanation and further doubling down on Percy's abilities, or really a real back from Nakala, which I'm actually a little bit happy about, but still, I'm going to end up explaining how this is still stupidly broken, even against the characters who could evidently resist this ability. As we see Anne and Nasine being like, oh, you're trying to take their cheeks too. And Nasine says, what the fandom, well, I'd say the fandom at large, but I'd say like me and some people in the comments have been heavily skeptical about, Percival, it is you, right? it just seems like you're another person. Once again, I and a couple others have been like, is that Zalula Indu? Did he get the body? Like, is he essentially wearing Percival as a flesh suit? Which, I mean, technically, the original life spirit that was Percy was wearing Percy as a flesh suit. But, like, ultimately, that becomes a question. What is this development, or is it another character? Ironically enough, and I like it because our main antagonist has the same issue. Is it development that happened off screen, or is it just a whole other character for Arthur? That parallel there works nicely. We genuinely don't know. Of course, this is saying it's Percy. It's mostly acting like Percy. It has the general mentality of Percy. But the flip from "I'll never take a life" to "your life is mine" is a crazy flip. It's a backflip and a half if I've ever seen it. But with that being the case, it's hard to tell. Just like it's hard to tell with Arthur. Admittedly, once again, I still need to go. I gotta go back. I gotta find time. In fact, I know a time where I'll probably just sit down and buckle down and record every single review I missed, or every single chapter I missed. And like, I'll probably do live reactions. I'll see, because I've read them forever ago now. So I may not do a live reaction, but I'll do the reviews at least. But there is that chapter where where Pelgard and Ironside get infused with chaos, and their humanity dies, and that may be what happened to Arthur. That may not be development. That may just be an effect of chaos, which is honestly kind of boring. But I hope it really is just development, just like I'm hoping this is just development for Percy. Well, it could be a crazy twist that Zoruna and Du decided to kick the original life spirit out of the body and be like, "You're not effective enough," and decided to take over the mech suit. And it's like acting as Percy in order to keep in the good graces of the fellow humans. Y'all know that meme, like, "How are you doing, fellow kids?" Percy's currently being like, "How are you doing, fellow humans?" Or Zalula and Du is doing that. I still would find it more interesting if just somehow over that 2-year period, Percy just fell to this. He became something darker. But we see Anne walks up and squeezes her man and says, "That's not bad. It's not horrid. It's kind of bad. But Percival, you were never like that as a boy, were you? Answer my question. Did you intend to kill him with that technique?" Yes. Well, not really. As we see, Anne looks into Percival's eyes and lets go of his chubby cheeks as one of the life spirits pops out of him to be like,
"We will devour you, woman. I'm not talking in the way that he traditionally devours you. We will eat you alive. And not in the way that he eats you alive."
But we see Percy smile and is like, "I did it because I knew it'd turn out okay." And both Anne and Ossius are like, "Huh?" And Percy explains, "You can't pull the life spirit out too easily if it's in a vessel that truly wants to live deep down." Now, I'll get to this. I'll get to this next part soon. But first things first, that's kind of a nerf to the ability, right? Notably, this ability has yet to work fully appropriately, right? We haven't seen Percy properly, fully just insta drain and insta off somebody. We've yet to see that. And I'll admit, the 2 exceptions we've seen so far are kind of funky. The first exception we saw was Chaos. When he used it on World Day, since she was infused with Chaos, it didn't work. It killed her human side. But ultimately, the Chaos side of her, which is presumably just like the main Chaos, timeless, formless, and pseudo-immortal, it didn't really matter. And the second time with Gareth, where they were able to simply resist the ability, the sheer force of will. Like, essentially, if it really wants to live. Interesting that it says life spirit and vessel, which implies, once again, a similar soul-esque dynamic where the body is the vessel to the soul, but kind of, sort of, maybe not really. I don't know. It is interesting that singular life spirit, like a singular soul, can be pulled out or not pulled out. But I was in the live reaction, I was talking about how maybe this isn't that broken. But after thinking about it a little bit more, it still is broken, right? Because let's think of some of the characters who this ability may not work on for a variety of factors, right? We know you can be chaos infused, or you can have really strong will. But maybe if you're an extremely long-lived creature, such as a demon, or especially a royal demon like Mel or Zell, maybe this ability wouldn't be that effective at all, because presumably their life spirits are extremely powerful, considering how good their vitality is. Same thing for someone like the Fairy Kings, or Diane, or any giant for that matter, who seem, for all intents and purposes, to basically be immortal. We have never, I think we've seen old giants before, or giants with thick, old, fluffy beards, but we've never, even heard or seen of one dying from old age. So, maybe, just maybe, they'd be harder to strip out of innately by their nature. However, if it works like it worked on Worldane for an infused creature, or worked on Gareth for a regular creature, That's still a very broken ability. Sure, it doesn't insta-gib one-shot you, like a lot of us thought it did. At least I thought it did. I thought, like, as long as you're a regular human, you are cooked the moment Percy activates this. But even if you have the strong enough will and desire and all that to live, it seems like, for all intents and purposes, you still lose all your vitality. You still lose all your stamina. You go through, like, a death sequence. Like, I think we, last chapter, legit saw what Gareth saw. Like, he literally saw the hand of death reaching out for him, gripping him up, taking his life away. Like he saw that. He's probably permanently scarred now. And will do everything Percy says. Because they don't have a choice in the matter. But that's the thing. With that being the case, this ability is still dumb stupid. So if it were used on someone like Meliodas, maybe it wouldn't be as effectively draining because of how much vitality he has. But still, draining a whole bunch of Meliodas' vital energy to the point where he may get too tired to even fight, it's really, really good. Same thing for any of the other sins, or any person with extremely high longevity or super strong will to live. Like, that's a little bit absurd. And this would even hypothetically work on someone like Merlin. He may be like, well, how can that work on Merlin? Isn't she immortal? Not really. She's immortal because she stopped her time. But she still has a life spirit in her, presumably. She's still a human. So Percy could hypothetically just instantly rip it out of her. And who knows what her current will to live is right now, considering she lost Escanor, and she's clearly not with Arthur anymore. So who knows? But with that being the case, it's an interesting limitation, but it's still a very broken ability. Nakaba may be trying to, like, retroactively soft nerf Percy, but I still think the nerf is a little bit too soft. It reminds me of, like, what was that nerf they gave to, like, they nerfed Vegito A in Fighters. It's still one of the best assists in the game. But, like, it's not as broken as it was before. But it's still, like, it's not broken, but it's still very, very good. It's not like a GTA nerf, where, like, it's basically worthless now, or it takes forever to come out, it's nowhere near as fast, like, all that. No, Vegito A it's still broken for all the same reasons it was broken, just a little bit less effective. That's essentially what this nerf is. It's a soft band-aid that one can easily rip off and the wound will be fine. But with it being the case, Percival reveals, also, we had a promise. I told Gareth I'd get us out of the cauldron once this thing is over. And they're going to owe me a great debt that only they can repay. Okay, we stop. As you can see, the walls are down. But with it being the case, we see that they're shocked and say, oh, you did? And Percy says, yeah, so I gotta go help him rest. You guys watch over the next match. Me and Gareth, we're gonna bond a little. Okay, stop. It's okay. That's the last one. Percy doesn't appear for the rest of the chapter. Well, he appears right at the very end. So, but that's the last one. As we see, the company declares, now, let's move on. Match number 2 in the A block. Donny versus the mystery package. And we see Donny eating it up, yucking it up to the whole crowd as they all cheer and look on to mystery package. And I wonder who this mystery man could be. As Donny says, hey, don't go too rough on me, okay? Oh, man. This is going to be such a breeze. He's going down in the blink of an eye. Now, this is interesting. You could definitely chalk this up to Donny's stupidity, but considering who this character is revealed to be, I wonder who, but considering who this character is revealed to be, maybe they were just suppressing their magic? Because you would think if they were half as magically powerful as they should be, like, Donny should sense the danger. But then again, we know you can suppress your magical signature somewhat in this universe. Though it is sometimes hard, because, like, characters can be sensed across the entire continent. So, or not the entire continent, the entire subcontinent of Britannia. But so notably, they can't be sensed in different realms. But that makes sense. They're like barrier walls in between those. Like, they're like dimensional structures and stuff. But with it being the case, Donny completely underestimates Mystery Package. And Edlin is hoping from the bottom of his heart that Donny fumbles the bag as he says, come on, Donny, lose! Let your fellow trainee retain some of his pride. And Boris, looking over at Edlin's like, dude, it is way too late for that now. And we see Hauser realize, he's had 2 years exploring this realm, getting his gains up, but he's still an idiot. He's underestimating his opponent, isn't he? And Nakaba himself, the author, had to drop in from the heavens and be like, yeah, he sure is. He's definitely fumbling the bag right here. He is estupido. And, of course, Donny is estupido, as he says, so what'll excite the audience the most? A little telekinesis to throw him out of the ring? Nah, that'd be too anticlimactic. And of course, Donny, being stupid, allows Cameroni to say, let the match begin now. And Donny says, all right, and starts punching and swinging. Whoosh, ha, hee, hoo. Once I show off these muscles I've been holding for 2 years, you're cooked. And we see that Mystery Package, he starts reaching for this. I couldn't even finish the joke. Mystery Package starts reaching for his mystery package, and Donnie says, "What? You're peeing your pants already? You really ain't built like that?" And Mystery Package, he starts, like I said, he starts playing with the mystery package, and goes,
What'll it be? What'll it be? Rustle, rustle, rustle.
and yanks out a sword. A pretty interestingly designed sword, mind you. Like, it is interesting. I wonder what this sword would be. And we see that Donnie's like, "Whoa, what? A weapon? Okay, no more boxing then." And then Mystery Package swings a sword and basically nothing happens. And Donnie's like, "Ha ha! Couldn't even beat a turtle with those moves. Eat this! Donnie, it's Muscle Explosion Crisis Punch." Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Donnie's punched, like, literally anybody ever. At least not in, like, a serious like, he's always either using his dagger or using his magic. I get it. The gains, they make a good man lose their mind. But, like, what? Why would you do this? Especially against a guy with a weapon. But we see that Mystery Package hits the yeah, and then 2 extra swords pop out from the thrust. And Donnie is horrified as he scurries away on all fours like a dog as Capital D announces, "Donnie's foe suddenly changes attacks. Now he's timidly running away," which is embarrassing. He literally whines like a dog. And we see and reveal, oh, it's like he can't dodge that. What a wimp. It's like, she generally knows, oh no, he's just like a coward and capable of fighting. And Nazis even says, he is, but the attacks are coming faster now, which is an interesting point. But, and that will go on to be revealed and further extrapolate on Chapter 170. But with that being the case, I do find it funny that these two, who I personally had beneath Donnie just because of how broken his telekinesis ability is, are the ones out here critiquing him. And basically, if Donnie is this dumb, even though he should have easy win cons over both of them, just throwing them away, throwing them away, throwing them away. And as we'll see, he has a new ability later on this chapter that should allow him to, like, piecemeal them. He may still lose to both of them just on sheer idiocy. As Donnie says, or Donnie watches and goes, "Dude, stop screwing with me." "All right, playtime's over. You'll pay big time for startling me." Ha! And he rips out a whole bunch of chunks of the earth. And we see Captain O'Neill be like, "With his uncanny powers, Donnie sends stones and pebbles into the air. If he had this ability, should he have used it from the start?" And Donnie immediately goes, "Hey, who asked you?" And Donnie, no one asked. But it's pretty obvious you should have done this. But we see that Donnie hits the "here we go!" And Captain O'Neill, or no, not Captain O'Neill, Mystery Package plays with his mystery. It's the same. What can I say? Mystery Package plays with the Mystery Package one more again to immediately block Blast Rush, which is a pretty unique ability. It takes the stones and launches them. And considering how much more powerful Donnie seems to be, like, remember, in the fight with Beltreep, while it wasn't effective because of Beltreep, he did lift up a slab of Earth, individually break off that slab of Earth while still maintaining the raised piece of Earth, and then launched it. So presumably this is pretty darn powerful. It's like a pseudo style of earthbending when you think about it. Like, it is kind of like a baby version of what the Giants can do. It is pretty decent. And of course, Hal's just like, "Why didn't you do that first, you idiot?" And we see that Ellen is, of course, cheering for Mystery Package as he wants Donnie to lose. And while I didn't want Donnie to lose, I knew Donnie was going to lose. As Donnie says, "Hey, don't resent me, trash bag." And trash bag, or Mystery Package, is legit just fine. And we see Donnie be like, "Huh? No way! What's that thing?" Foreshadowing. And we see it is launched towards Donnie. If you'll remember, this is very similar to the design of Dubs, his own flying saucer shield, which was used in the Cursed by Light movie. And it really one-shots Donnie. Well, not one-shots him, but it does move too fast for Donnie to react to and knocks him out. But not really knock him out, it knocks him nearly out of the ring as he bounces and rolls. And we see that as Anne, this is really the ally. The guy I've been traveling for 2 years with. Oh, Lord, is he stupid. Nasian says, "Wow, quite a magic tool there." Which it is. It is pretty impressive that he's able to blitz Donnie. Who does, like, he's not the strongest, nowhere near, but he does have pretty decent reaction times, as we've seen before. But he bounces all the way to the edge. And even Captain O'Neill's like, "Oh, Donnie is headed straight for the abyss." "Oh? Hey, don't count me out yet, man. You think I'm gonna lose that easy? Hunt my pals down, huh?" Yes. And we see that Mystery Package strolls up and is like, "Hey, buddy, want to see my mystery package. As we see that he says, don't worry, your friends will be thankful for you. And Donnie says, huh? What's that mean? And Capitan says, what a heartwarming sight. Hey! Oh no, now, take my hand, won't you? Won't you take a poor package's hand? And Mystery Package is reaching out for Donnie on the cliff's edge. And Donnie, being the genuine idiot he is, like, how stupid are you? Like, and the thing that makes this extra stupid is, Donnie, you can fly. Not directly, clearly you still need a platform. Like, Donnie, you are on a pillar made of rock. And instead of just tearing out a piece of it, putting it beneath your feet, and then flying back up into the ring, you decide that, yeah, I'm going to take the hand of my adversary. When it's like, maybe he's not paying attention, but, like, this looks mad obvious. Like, no one's hands are just naturally built like this, dog. And we see, and he says, dude, what a nice guy you are. After I talked all that smack. Only to immediately get a little bit frozen. Hey, whoa. I feel like, super. And Percy comes back just in time to say, hey guys, I'm finally back. I gave Gareth ludicrous what, did Donnie's fight start yet? And Percy steps out to see Donnie being carried as a frozen statue. No, it's over. Brr. The winner of match 2 is Mystery Package. Donnie, you poor idiot. Please change. I'd say never change, but Donnie, please change. But overall, a sweet little W chapter. As you can tell, I put a lot more emphasis on the stuff we learned about Percy's abilities and the balance and what it could hypothetically mean for his character. But I did Mystery Package and Donnie because, like, I kind of knew how this fight was going to go. And I'll admit, I probably would have yapped a whole lot more about Mystery Package if I'd actually done this review on time. But, like, I already kind of do see the future. So my bad for anyone who's watching this in the future or doing what I love people do sometimes. Some people have told me, like, oh yeah, I picked up 4 Nights and I just watch your reviews as I go. Sorry about that. But I'm made careful not to spoil who Mystery Package is, though I do know this one since I did read 170. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave brrr. Because it's getting a little bit chilly in the comment section down below. I just thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come on the channel. Also, I do happen to have a page down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the 25-minute live reaction to this very chapter, and variations of all my videos, and becoming a $12 Patreon or a $12 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also, I do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description below where you can drop 5 means for a short video, 20 means for a long video, or any means at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy on the Pencil, writing off.
I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, Glacier XZ, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 members, A+A, Ignil Lind, Kevin Encarnacion, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine, Austin Wimberly, Uchiha, and Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members, AZ Void, J Warrior, and Robbie Uchiha. And I'd like to give a big old thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Waki Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final gracious gargantuan thank you to our $100 That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.